Hello friends, welcome to Module 12. I can't even do it with 1, 2, 12. We are cruising through the semester and I'm excited by the work that you're doing. Clausen and I are really, you guys are knocking it out the park. So keep up the good work. That was rather an incomplete sentence, but I'm going to roll with it. So let's talk about the rest of the weeks because we are in Module 12. So we roughly have 4 more modules to go. So finish strong, keep moving. So this module, in Module 12, we are talking about, your wrap up. In this one, we're going to shift gears a little bit. We focused heavily on your project, what you're doing, your internship. Now we're going to kind of pull it out this week, and we're going to look at those Ed Studies outcomes. There are 5 domains that you've learned about, that you've talked about. We are going to, in the next several weeks, kind of wrap those up and give you a chance to create something with your existing website and your existing portfolio, kind of to focus on your future. So we're going to create an aspect and an area where you can talk about what's happened in the program, what you've been up to, and this would be forward facing that you would possibly show a future employer. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. So we're going to walk through this together. This video is going to be a little bit longer than my normal videos, and I probably will splice pieces of it later to put it in certain areas, but please take a moment and listen to all of it because it's all very important. So as we dive in again, so Module 12, I want you to notice right here, this one's worth 140 points. So this is where those no more 40-point assignments, these are some bigger assignments, and I want to make sure that you are able to walk through this and gain all of your points. So let's talk about this one. In Module 12, we're going to go in and build on those 5 program outcomes that we talked about earlier. We're going to take a different look. Instead of looking at 3 courses, you're going to look at 1. So it starts here with these 3 outcomes, and then we're going to come back in, and then in Module 15, you're going to do the same thing to the last 2 outcomes. So don't think that we left them out. We just broke them apart for you, so that way it's not as overwhelming. So in Module 12, we're going to start with this. There is no HCD activity in this one. You do have your communicability in your timesheet. Module 13, we're going to look at summarizing your project and really wrapping up kind of those project pieces. So you still have this week to kind of wrap up and finish what's going on in your project, but knowing in Module 13, we're going to go in and summarize. Module 14, you're going to put together a presentation. And then in Module 15, you have a final course reflection and the last part of the HCD. Also, your final internship hours are due. Knowing that Thanksgiving is coming up, my goal is to open some of this a bit earlier, but I want to give you a good overview. So throughout the week, you're going to see probably other things opening, so that way you get a jump on it. You don't have to spend your Thanksgiving break doing work. So let's dive in. So this is kind of your overview. Let's go into Module 12 itself. So when we click into Module 12, this video is going to land right here. So you'll get to see all of this. Like I said earlier, you're going to be wrapping up, you're going to be working on outcomes, but at the same time, take a moment to go through and finish off your project if you haven't done that. I know some of you are finishing, you're ready to walk out of it, but for some of you, you're still working, so wrap up. So this week, in terms of this work, you're going to do you've pretty much set up your website. So, and I'll take you into a couple of samples in a moment so you can look at this, but as you're going in, you're going to create the program overview page today, or this week. You're going to do education and society, acts of learning, and identity as an educator. So again, we'll walk into this, you're building on what you've already created. So don't think that, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. No, you're building on what you created, except for looking at the 3 courses, you're now going to look at 1. So just to go over our assignments for this one, you have your time card. No HCD, you are done with those for right now. You have your peer discussion. So in Yellow Dig, it's fair game to talk about any of these and some of the other pieces, but we are focusing 140-point focus on the outcomes and your thoughts within the outcome area. So let's dive in. So again, we talked about Yellow Dig. There it is, in detail. I'm not going to spend too much time there because at this point you've got the Yellow Dig piece down. Your time card. We do love to hear what you're up to, so please take a moment and make sure that you're sharing what you're doing. We do read them. We do ask questions. I know for me, when I ask a question, don't reply back in the assignment. If you want to shoot me a Slack message, if you want to shoot me an email, perfect, or write it in your next overview of what you're doing within your internship, and then I can read the answer to my question there. All right, so let's dive into this assignment. So this assignment is a little bit different, and so we're going to walk through it. In your portfolio, you already have, or in your website, whatever you want to call it, you've got an area that is designated for Ed Studies. So as we jump in, I'm going to kind of jump to some former students' work so you can see how it worked. But in this one, you'll notice that you have this Ed Studies program, outcome, and overview. So again, if we look at this one, again, as you're clicking in, it's going to be right by my head. Ed Studies program overview is right here on hers as well, so keep that in mind. It does appear in that area. So as you look at this and you click on it and then you drop down, all of your different pages are sitting here. Make sure you kind of put them at the top level so that way they're seen. We're going to focus on this page for right now, but I want to kind of walk you through the assignment at the same time. So I'm going to click over here, so click back to it. So I'm going to scroll up. For this one, you're going to create that Ed Studies Outcomes page if you have not already created it. This week, you're focusing on Education and Society. You're focusing on these three. So Education and Society, Active Learning, and Identity as an Educator. What you're going to do is first, you've got to create that overview page of what is Ed Studies. So you're going to start off, you can look at any of the pages that are listed here. There are several readings, so before you jump in, make sure that you do your reading. So this first one is all about, what is a portfolio? What is a work portfolio? I'm going to open these. So what is a work portfolio? These are areas that you want to focus on what's happening within your, internship, your HCD work, all of those different pieces. But now you're taking it not from the class point of view, you're taking it from the point of view of someone else that's looking at this and going to be a part of this. So this is the first part of your work portfolio and what it means, what is it. The second page here will give you a little bit more information. So this is what a work portfolio is. So if you're like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? That's what it is. So ideally, you want a program that represents your coursework, what you've did, how this has helped you, how you will use this in the future. So it's a good talking point in an interview of what did you learn in school that now that you can apply to this job setting. And I will give you a sneak little peek. Several of our students, I should say more than several, many of our students have gone on to work in either the internship they were in or a similar organization or something that they really want to do, but they use the internship as a way of talking about the work experience, the things that they've done, and highlighting through this. So I would say if you are going out to interview, on your resume, put the link to your portfolio, put the link to this section. You can always take these pieces out and create a secondary website from it. So we can show you how to do that as well. So that way you have something to highlight when you go in and you're talking in an interview setting. Please make sure you talk about these because this will help land that next job or get you into grad school. So first off, you're going to create, the overview page. So that's the first piece. So program overview page. The second step is within that overview page, you're going to add an image that represents the program, something that you feel. So create the page first, review what the page is, then come in, you're going to add an image, you're going to add a description that talks about what the Ed Studies program is. You're also going to add a statement of why. Why did you choose this program? Why is it important to you? And then you're going to add a statement of what you hope to do after graduation. So that's the first piece. So this is all about you. There isn't a right, there isn't a wrong. We are looking for quality work that speaks to someone that's getting ready to graduate from Arizona State University with an Ed Studies degree. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If not, visit us during office hours. So as we keep cruising through this, step 1, step 2. Step 3, you're going to create subpages. You will be creating 5 subpages. So this week we're only focusing on 3. So keep that in mind. Education and Society, Active Learning, Identity as an Educator. I think I've said it like 10 times in this video, but I'm going to keep saying it. So again, for this one, if you want to review the subpages, they're down here. But as you kind of drop into this, you're going to, first, after you create the subpages, you're going to look at defining what is that domain. So you can click here. So I already opened this one. So let's say you're like, I want to define it. You can come in here and you can grab this one. Make sure you cite it. But you can grab this one and say, this is what it is. You can use some of the terms. You can look at the outcomes. Really define it well. So that way, when someone comes in, they understand what you're talking about. So what is the definition? Then you're going to add an image. So make sure you add an image that represents this. Then you're going to pick from, you talked about 3, remember there were 3, in the first part of what you did. In the modules, you went through this, you looked at 3 different courses. For this, you're going to choose one course. So pick the course. Give us a brief description of what that course is, what were some of the assignments, what was the experience. You can also go back to Canvas and pull up those courses so you can see. You're also going to give, in that description, more information. Then think about what is the work that represents that domain. What is an assignment? And you can actually go in. So if we go back here, I go to list this real quick. If I go into Education Society, you're going to notice that she put in pictures, lots of pictures of what happened. So course, description of the experience, what was the representation, what was the application. So if we look at her acts of learning, again, she put an assignment in here. So you can put assignments, you can put pictures, you can put, say there was a great assignment that you like. This is a great time to go in and look at those assignments that you worked so hard on, bring them in. So define it, an image, comprehensive course overview, looking at description, representation, application. So this should actually be one of those fun assignments where you get a chance to reflect and think. Our next 4 weeks are all about reflecting and thinking. So you're going to continue this process for all 3 of these. So you're going to go through Education Society, Active Learning, Identity as an Educator. So you're going to spend time working in each one this week, creating those pages, and really make it something that you are proud of, that you can share with others, that explains why did you get this degree. And I know for some of you are like, I had to get a degree. Okay, we're going to dig a little bit deeper. What did I learn from this degree? What am I taking into the world? These are these statements that are going to help you prepare for how you explain this program and also how you get that next job or how you get to grad school. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that's clear. But again, if you're like, I don't remember what's in the program, click on these. It will show you all the different information about each one. To submit this, you're going to submit the link. Make sure you take some time, review the rubric that's right here. Very important to make sure that you're on track. So this will be a great week. Work hard, stay on top of all this. Please let us know if you have questions. All right, we'll see you soon. You're going to get a lot of videos from me, so hang in there. Happy Module 12. Take care. Do great things. Bye.